even on $5 Friday or Tuesdays.
I would go to movies simply for the fact of like going with someone because it's fun to go with people to stuff.
Yeah.
But like, and this is not just Indiana Jones. This is
Yeah.
like the Flash apparently was really bad. Indiana Jones was not good. The Kraken movie is supposed to not be that great. Okay, so, and it's frustrating because it's like I literally want to just yell at these people and be like, "We want to give you our money." Like I don't not want to go to movies. Like I want to.
Yeah.
But you're making it too difficult to go to movies.
And
And unlikable characters like make it okay. So we're headed right here. So I've opened up the map. I just did that on my own time. But now we're going to continue the story for finally.
yeah, some of me wonders if all the reviews also are problematic as well.
Well, and they are. The problem is though
'Cause
is like just like you're saying, we don't have the money. I don't have the money to. It's like video games. I have to do the same thing with video games. It's like if I'm going to spend money, I've got to know like if it's something that is actually going to be worth my time. And the sad thing is like maybe I do cut myself off a little bit because of that, and that's a fair critique. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
But then at the same point it's like but I have to rely on those people because I actually have two more hearts and I have two more stamina parts, so but I have to rely on something because otherwise I'm gonna go buy a game or I'm gonna watch a movie and it's like I just wasted time, money, and I don't want to do that.
It's very true. I was just thinking for growing up and stuff, did they make as many movies? Was there something different and special? I mean, there's always been critics and stuff, but how often would you read them because they're in the papers, so maybe you'd hear a few,
Right.
and then good movies through the 80s and stuff got to be really popular.
Well, and that's the thing too is it's like I don't know how many so like Lucasfilm, let's just say Lucasfilm. So calling it Disney maybe is unfair. Let's just say Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy. If you're looking at that movie, you're saying, okay, what was the last things they did? Well, they did the Star Wars movies. And it's like, okay, the last three Star Wars movies were terrible. Like they're not good. The characters are boring. They're Mary Sue's. Like the part where Princess Leia is in space and then somehow should have already been dead the moment that her ship got blown. Because not only does it get blown up and that percussion to her brain would have killed her, right? Then she's in space.
Right.
And then somehow she like Superman it's dumb. Like it's bad.
It was a bizarre thing. And it didn't look good either.
No, it didn't.
If there's a different way to like have that done. But I mean, it's not just like movie reviews. Like I'm stuck in this like paralysis of looking for a car for Ellison. The Mazda is gone. I had Weston pick it up yesterday.
That's good.
I cleaned it up and yeah, that's good. a little sad, I'm driving the Mustang now. I'll probably drive that a lot more since it's got an extended warranty on it for the next 3 years, I think. I hope. But how do you buy a car? Because I find them. I'm like, I really like this, and then I go to the review of the dealership or whatever, right? And then I go, oh, they have how many stars? And then I go to the lowest reviews because you want to see. I don't know. The good stuff. You don't need to read the good stuff because you're like, okay, 5 stars. They love it. It's great.
Right.
For whatever reason, But the 1 stars, they're all pissed off for some reason or another. Some of them are illegitimate.
Cool.
You
Froggy armor. Well, yeah, and that is fair because I find that same thing happens to me. Is like I'm like ready to anything really buy it, and then it's like, oh, but this one person, and so it's like really what you have to do, I think, is you have to know getting into it. Okay,
Sorry, that looks
One,
like Launchpad McQuack from
Yeah.
DuckTales, the original DuckTales. Anyway, go ahead.
there are lots of bird people. It's true. Launchpad's a good character.
Yeah.
So, speaking of reviews, Disney Plus redid that show, and it's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
I have not wanted to watch that because I'm such a fan of the original, and my daughter's seen it, so she's watched both, and she won't watch that. So even somebody that
See,
I
we're
grew up-
we're exactly proving each other's point.
yeah. So I mean,
Like me and my kids have watched it 3 times through.
Wow.
It's really good. Like it is a good show. But
What-
if you like, it's kind of like what happened with the prequels, right?
Yeah.
If you took these 3 sets of movies and like the prequels were done first, no one would hate them. They would just be, oh, there would be
Yeah.
things you didn't like, but you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then you would move from there. Now the last 3 were terrible. They're just terrible. They're just not good movies.
Yeah, I mentioned to somebody that I liked the prequels, even Phantom Menace. I don't necessarily like the Anakin story and the pod racing. I mean, I think that could have been done a little bit differently.
Oh, I love the pod racing.
I mean,
It's
the
great.
pod racing's kind of fun, but I don't know. I don't know if it was the actor or whatever, and if he was too young, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's true just
And-
of any kid that like
And it
does that.
seemed a bit more cartoonish, but it's not horrible. And the second one, you know, I really enjoy, where Obi-Wan goes to Kamino, right, and fights the clone army and starts it, you know. But there's just so much of I don't know how people have all that time to follow all this stuff. Like, if you were just to follow
Right.
Star Wars, there's
Right.
an immense amount of stuff, you know, like watching the Clone War movies. I mean, I think there's, or not movies, but
The TV
the
show.
television
Yeah, we
show.
also watched that too.
Alice and I tried to do that, but I
Well,
don't-
and
it didn't-
that is a very good point. Is like I don't have time to play all the video games that exist, and that's why I rely on these reviews. I find people that I trust, and look, it's good to have. Like, it's the same reason that when I listen to political commentary,
Yeah.
I listen to Jimmy Dore, who's a leftist, but I feel like, well, he's a liberal. He used to be a leftist, but I think he's like been red pilled a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's not like crazy anymore.
Mhm.
But then I also listen to like, the Daily Wire. So it's like, yeah, that's kind of my whole take or point, I guess, is that if you're willing to like listen to both sides, then I think you have a better explanation of what you have a better version of like what you're if you want to see it or not.
Yeah.
And so then you can feel good about like spending the money, but then that does then lie the whole issue is that like I'm not going to see Indiana Jones because I like it definitely does every single thing that I particularly hate about movies nowadays. So for me, I'm definitely not going to see it. I will watch it with someone.
Yeah.
So I would
it-
watch it with someone who really wanted to see it and then like was important to them. Yeah, I do that. So like if you loved Indiana Jones,
Is it
you're like, Mike, will you
overt,
see
or
it
is it
with
just
me?
part of the storyline? Are they like, is it like pushing, or
It's-
is it just kind of there?
From what I understand, it's the whole Mary Sue
I did.
conundrum. It's the whole
Yeah, I did
it's
kinda see that.
it's the Captain Marvel problem. So like Captain Marvel is supposed to be this character that everyone loves and everyone enjoys, which is great. The problem is when she herself comes out and says that this movie is not for white men, which is completely racist, by the way. Like, you don't, whenever you involve someone's race, whether you hate white men, that's fine. Like, hate white men all you want. If you invoke their skin color, that makes you a racist. Then it's like, okay, then I won't see it. Like, I don't need to see a movie and be ridiculed and have people also be ridiculed simply because they didn't like it, and then you be like a toddler, because that's all it came off as, was like, people don't like my movie. Maybe there are some good things, maybe there's some bad things. They had a critique. You didn't like the critique, so then you blamed them for being white. It's like, okay, so that's Captain Marvel, but that's why I'll never see it. Like, I will not waste my time and my money to see it. Now, Indiana Jones apparently they did exactly the same thing that they ended up doing to Luke. Like, they ruined his character. Like, he did things that he wouldn't do. Like, Luke would never have stood over Kylo Ren and tried to murder him in his sleep. That never would have happened. I don't know if you should be allowed to do this, but this is how I've been able to, like, brute force some things. Is like, somehow I'm, like, sitting on the precipice. No! Why did you turn around? I didn't turn you around.
Turn
oh my
around.
gosh. So stupid. But yeah, so, like, there's things like that. So apparently that's exactly what happened in this movie. Is like, there were things that were not, that I guess he wants to like give up at the end, and he just wants to die because, like, the Dial of Destiny, like, is a time travel device. Mm-hmm. So then he wants to give up and just die. And it's like, yeah, that's not what Indiana Jones would do. Right. And then what do? Is they like, they make, oh my gosh, this is annoying. They made the character, the Mary Sue of it all.
Is there a stamina thing you can eat?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, it feels that. Well, I should be able to do what I did. It's just doing it. I don't know why he turned around. Like, he shouldn't have turned around. Because my will should have gone to green, and then I should have been able to hang on again.
Yeah, a lot of movies you should be able to go to enjoy, and they're kind of ridiculous and kind of fun to watch without having to worry.
Yeah, Van Helsing. That's exactly that's exactly my point. Is that, like, it's fine.
Would you say that about all Hugh Jackman movies? Is Hugh Jackman do movies that you want to see? So what you're saying is you need more Hugh Jackman.
No.
Because Logan was good, right?
I actually haven't seen Logan.
Oh, really?
That's one I haven't seen. I should watch it.
I think I've really
stayed away from it because it's apparently, like, super gory, right?
Probably. I think so.
He, like, murders people.
It's emotional. Yeah, I mean it's
emotional's good, but I've heard it's, like, extremely violent, and it's just like, okay.
I need to watch it again, I guess. Not for the violence, people. I would use VidAngel or something. I don't know.
No, if I watch a movie, I'm just watching the movie. I don't do the VidAngel thing. If I'm gonna watch it, then I'm gonna watch it in its entirety, and in my opinion, that's how you respect, like, the creator. And if you don't want to watch it because of the content, then don't. That's fine. Read a synopsis, maybe. But I'm not against. What am I trying to say? I'm not against anyone who does VidAngel or likes VidAngel. That's just not something I choose to do. Yeah. That's all.
Chris loves VidAngel. We do VidAngel.
Yeah, and that's fine. Things. Yeah, I understand it. I have done it. Like, I have an edited version of The Matrix, the second one. But yeah, my point is like, it's kind of like people. Like, I hated this football coach that was our football coach in high school. Yeah. And then I actually coached with a kid he was the quarterback coach, and I was the running back coach, and he loved the guy. And I remember thinking, like, that's such a good... I'm glad that I had this conversation with him. Did I dare
break that?
Yeah, because, like, I'm pretty sure I need to go to this town.
Seems like you need a break. I don't know. There's a bunch of them. Maybe there's something cool underneath.
Let's go to the town first, and then
there's, like, a body or something.
And then we'll maybe sell this nothing. And then we'll go to those things and ruin the run. But yeah, like, my whole thing is, like, okay, I'm glad that he likes him, and it can give me better perspective. So, like, movies can be the same thing. But I also know that, like... So, like, Thor, Love, and Thunder... Oh, that's good. I'm glad that we found this. It's good to know that this is here. I know that Thor, Love, and Thunder, like... I've seen the clips. I've seen the things that... And the way it's portrayed, like... It is not... Like, you're never... It's... I don't think... someone can say definitively that it's a good movie. Like, the synopsis of it is bad. And so it's like, okay, well then I'm not going to watch it because I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah, have many people watched it?
Yeah, that at least made money. And that's my other point about Indiana Jones is like you can't do this at so many times that people are now upset with you. Like you can do it once, twice, three times, right? Like not in my opinion, the only MCU movie that's been good since since Endgame was the Spider-Man movie. All the other movies were not good movies. Now, were they terrible, awful, disgusting movies? No, but I don't think they're good movies. So, like, you do that enough times, and then you fast forward to Indiana Jones, and you're like, oh, this is like the 10th time you guys have decided to do this. And it's obvious, it seems obvious to me that Kathleen Kennedy is trying to insert herself into the movie. That's why all of these characters, like, are brunette, strong-willed, unlikable women. Like, that's why it's like she seems that's what it seems like she's doing. And there's no value to like what they bring. They completely castrate Indy. They make him out to be a loser. He's old, so that's also hard to see in old Indiana Jones, which honestly that's probably not even a good idea. And look, I don't think the Crystal Skull was a terrible movie like everyone else, as in it's fine. Indiana Jones people say it is, so I trust their opinion because they know more about Indiana Jones than I do. But Crystal Skull, you would take 1,000 Crystal Skulls apparently more than you would take this last one, and
Well,
that's
yeah, my brother
that's
was-
kind of the problem.
My brother was opposite. He said, "Don't go watch." He's like, "I still haven't rewatched Crystal Skulls," but he also put it fourth out of the 5. So I mean, the first 3 are still.
Oh yeah, the first 3 are definitely the best for sure.
Yeah.
But that's kind of telling too. If Crystal Skull is still fourth,
No, the new one's fourth. Crystal Skull's still last.
yeah. See, that's the first person I've heard to do that. And if I'm taking 10 over 1, then it's like, okay, I'm gonna probably, if it were 5-5, okay, yeah, let's go see it. If it's 6-4, yeah, I'll maybe go see it, or I'll wait until it comes on like.
So do you
Disney
think they
Plus.
even should have done another Indiana Jones with
Absolutely not.
Harrison Ford being so old?
Absolutely
Or
not.
is that a problem with movies in general that are trying to continue?
Well, and
using-
it's an issue. It seems like for Potland, it's an issue. It's an issue when you consider what it is. So, like, apparently the CGI, like they did a young Indy, and they do the like kind of face thing that they've been doing recently.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is though, is he still sounds and moves like an 80-year-old man. So like it didn't look good. And the thing is like apparently the CGI was so prevalent and so like not good that then becomes the issue.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I'm not going to rate the movie. I won't rate a movie that I don't see. So like you're never going to hear me be like, "Oh, well it's a 4 out of 10." No. Like I have not personally seen it. But my whole diatribe, what I'm getting at is that I won't go see it because I'm not like I don't have the money, time
They're already shooting at you for your opinions,
to
Mike.
go see it, because if it were my job I would see it. If this is what I did for a living and like we commentated on movies, of course I'd go see it.
Yeah.
But that's not what we do. That's not what I do. So I guess I can just be like, nope, I'm not gonna. And the funny thing is, and this will be really telling, because maybe people just hate the movies. Maybe they are partly right about that. We're gonna have to see what Mission Impossible does. If Mission Impossible has any kind of good showing at all, it will break that. It'll break that. What? Not opinion is not the right word. It'll break that excuse that they're making that's why people didn't go see it, because people don't go to the theaters anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's very true.
And so, and that's exactly what Top Gun did. They were like, okay, People hate movies. That's why, you know, all these MCU movies no one liked. And then then it turned out that Top Gun comes out and it kills, and everyone's like, "Oh, no, it's just that you guys make really bad movies."
And some of it could be, I mean, well, a lot of it's probably that, but I think a lot of it's saturation as well.
Also true.
Because, I
Like,
mean,
it's fair that there could be a lot more than just, like, it's maybe not as simplistic as I'm making it. But it is simplistic for someone who doesn't have the money to go see them.
yeah. And
That
I mean,
does make it
yeah,
easy.
Like, I do want to just go enjoy a movie without any...
And that's my whole
Unless it's a
thing.
movie specifically for that, then it's just like, okay, then, you know, find your audience and then...
Right. Well, and that's kind of the point, too, is it's like, it's disrespectful to the fan base who made it, to do things to the characters because they're the ones that made you rich. It's like, it's just the MCU. Like, they are purposefully trying to make it into something that it is not. And the fans don't like it, so they're not making money. And they're disrespecting the fans who made them the money to begin with. And so it's like, yeah, go ahead and make your movie. And look, like, because Indiana Jones apparently is going to lose like millions of dollars. If it continues on like the path it's on, as far as like how much money it's making, it's going to lose a ton of money. And so it's like, it's their own fault.
On the good flip side, though, this past 4th of July weekend or 4th of July day, they said that the movie The Sound of Freedom actually brought in more ticket sales with 2,000 fewer theaters available for it. And so I'd be really interested to see that movie.
Well, and that's actually the other point I was going to bring up.
I believe it's about Tim Ballard and Operation...
Yeah, that movie is beating Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And that movie should not be beating Indiana Jones.
Well,
in no way, shape, and form.
Well, why not, though? I mean, we say not. Why? Because it's not as well known? But, I mean...
Yeah, because it's a small studio. It's a conservative studio, and people hate conservatives. It's...
But take all that out, I mean...
And Disney's a AAA movie theater. It's Indiana Jones. Like, we're not talking about just some random
and that would
movie
go back
from
to,
a studio.
That would go to your point and my point about saturation. People want something new and different. And so, even though it shouldn't, maybe it actually should because it's so different, unique, and new, and, you know, a really
I would say
story.
it's just because they're ruining it is the problem. Like, people want to go see Indiana Jones, and they want to see a good Indiana Jones. That's why people, I think, are so mad about the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Because they wanted it to be good.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted it to be everything that Indiana Jones was. But it wasn't. And so then, and that's like how the prequels fared. The prequels had the same, they had the same...
supposed to do there?
Supposed to fall through that. The prequels had the same kind of treatment. Whoop, no. Let go. And no, I want this. No, I want this. The prequel
key over there?
I'm not sure. This is kind of a fun little dungeon place. The prequels got the same treatment where it was like, okay, they wanted Star Wars, and yeah, I'm not gonna pretend like there isn't gatekeeping and that can be really frustrating for the people involved.
What kind of weapon is that?
It's a boomerang with the bone hand on it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's so good. I love it.
No!
So good. I do have better weapons. Like, this one is cool. This was an axe blade, and I think this and the wooden stick one. I got a spear. But I love it when I find the bow of it arms. It's so funny. I think of you every time.
Oh, gosh.
It's like, this is so dumb. I know. That's what makes it so funny. And the funny thing is arm. The arm is super strong for some reason. Like, it's like a 20 on the weapon scale. Like, I don't know why. It just
it's so
is.
Dumb.
It's
they're just
so
like, we want you
funny.
to use this dumb thing that
so
I would have
funny.
made before I was double digits.
Yeah.
It's something that you would draw. That's
Yeah, it's so good. But that's a Case in point, that's what makes this so much fun, because you're literally taking something that's so stupid, and then you're being like super creative in your and like, oh, I can have a weapon that's an arm, and that's just funny. That's maybe the whole different point.
Is it supposed to be funny though?
Who knows what it's supposed to be? Let's be honest. I don't know where I'm supposed to go though.
Into the turbines. That looks like a big door. I don't know.
Well, and the
Can you
whole
climb it?
area is like, whoop,
Oh.
that was almost not good.
Almost dead season.
The whole thing is just like going back to what I was saying, is that everyone wants they want the movies to be good. Like our desire is not for the movies to be bad. But and here's the other thing too. So like your brother sounds like he doesn't have bias, which is great. So then he can give a more decent review than these people maybe, because they've just seen it so many times that they're upset about it. And it's like, okay, that's fair. But that's kind of the point though too, is that like because
Go up through the water?
because they have made these movies so often, and they've made them so bad so often, you know that you have a good movie if you've actually gotten their trust back. And that's kind of my other point, is like, sure, all the things that we're talking about, fair good. Yeah.
Is that part different?
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw the little X, and I figured this is where I'm supposed to go.
Maybe.
And that's fair, but that would then also tell you why it's a good movie, is because like Top Gun, the second Top Gun, I think is fantastic. Like, it's so good.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, and that's the difference. Like, there's no reason that Indiana Jones could not have been that good. Like, they spent $300 million on it. Like, they have the budget. And it's just, and apparently there's infighting too, where it's like Kathleen Kennedy's upset because she feels like the marketing wasn't good, and there wasn't a lot of marketing.
No, that's true.
But then it sounds like there was a reason that there wasn't good marketing, because it got such bad reviews. No, your guess is as good as ours. Like, that's the other problem. Is like people cannot figure out. None of us can figure out why you're giving over these things.
I mean, I don't know anything about her, like, personally. Just that, the movies he makes don't really turn up the money, and it just seems like if that were anybody else, you would hire them anymore.
Right, and that